What's up, ReadyUpLive? Greenskull here, and I realized that when I was playing Halo 5, I want to change my control scheme. So I actually have a video of a lot of the different control schemes in Halo 5. A lot of people were really concerned about the default control scheme, and rightfully so, because the left trigger is Smart Scope, and that's very unlike Halo. That's more Call of Duty, that's more modern shooter. And how I feel is that makes sense to attract a new audience. A modern gaming audience is used to pressing the left trigger to zoom. So when they come and play Halo 5, they don't even need to change their settings to get a different feel. They'll get exactly what they want. While veteran Halo fans won't have a problem with changing their controls, because we're going to go in and change our controls anyway. We're going to change our sensitivity and such anyway. So there's that default loadout for you. Again, left trigger is Smart Scope. Over to Southpaw. This is something I'm not familiar with at all. I've never really done Southpaw, so you guys leave in the comments, let me know how different or similar this is to how it was before. I'm not exactly sure. Here's Boxer, left bumper is melee. Another one that a lot of people like to use. Over to Green Thumb, another one I'm not familiar with. Again, I always play with Recon, usually, sometimes kind of default, but this is not usually what I play. But you will notice that none of these have left trigger to zoom. None of them. Everyone was freaking out. What is this, Call of Duty? They're making left trigger zoom on one control scheme? One! Seriously, like, bumper jumper is a very, very popular control scheme. A lot of people were requesting to see this, so hopefully this will help you guys out. Bumper jumper doesn't do it for me. The way I feel is that I play with the claw, so I use my index finger to hit the A, B, X, Y buttons, and because of that, I don't need bumper jumper, but if you're not as flexible as me, then bumper jumper is probably a solid control scheme to learn how to use. And here's what I play, Recon. I've explained this quite a few times. There's some labeling issues here, it looks like, because left trigger was grenade. Here it's labeling left trigger as thruster pack, but left trigger is grenade. So if the control schemes you just saw look like the left bumper and left trigger are flipped, that's probably why. But I assure you, in-game, left trigger was grenade, left bumper was thruster pack. Everything else looks right on here. Y is switch weapon, A to jump, right click to scope. But that is unfortunately the only control schemes I recorded, because I was just switching for myself. I was just making sure I got to Recon very quickly so I can get back into the game. So there are more. There are definitely more, probably the ones you know and love, right? I have no doubt about it. They know to make the controls similar to what you're used to and not get too weird with it. But also take a quick look at some of the other options, like end sprint via buttons, so when you're sprinting you can hit it once, then hit it again to stop. I don't do that, I'd rather just hold it to sprint. And maintain sprint means sprint stays on while you're doing different actions like thrusting and stuff like that. Now auto stabilize is something I like to have off. So what happens is when you're in midair and you press Smart Scope, you will hover, you will stabilize. Now, I still don't really like stabilize. I really don't like the hover ability. I've never even really used it much, so maybe that's something to say about it, but I don't know how to feel about it. Well, we'll see in the beta, maybe when I get a better chance to use it. With this setting, when you do press scope in midair, you will start hovering. So I'd rather have it so you press sprint to hover. And then for hold to clamber means, say you're making a jump from one object to another. If you hold jump midway and don't let go, when you reach the other side, you will automatically climb up, rather than having to press it right at the last second. So there you go, guys. Hopefully that helped you out. I still have a lot more stuff to upload. I've just been really busy here. I'm going to put it up as soon as possible, so be sure to stick around, subscribe if you're not already. See you guys next video. So what you see here is a ground pound. You can actually just hold the crouch button in midair and it'll activate it. You're vulnerable for a few seconds, and I only ever got one kill with it. It's very difficult to use, and that's honestly what